Good evening. I would like to call to order the Keizer City Council in regular session. It is Tuesday, February 17th, 2026, and ask our city recorder to please call roll.
Councilor Kohler?
Here.
Mayor Clark?
Here.
Councilor Christopher?
Here.
Councilor Duran?
Here.
Council President Starr?
She is considered excused right now until we take care of the matter under special orders of business to declare her present.
Councilor Parsons?
She is excused tonight for family reasons.
Councilor Cross?
Councilor Cross is excused for work.
Youth Councilor Guptill?
Is also excused for work. All right, that accounts for everybody. If you are able, I ask you to rise, and I invite all of you to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So tonight we have no published special orders of business, but at this time I would entertain a motion to suspend the rules and take up the matter of deeming it important that Councilor Starr appear electronically and be considered in attendance as per Council Rules of Procedure Section 3.10.
I move to deem it important that
Suspend the rules first.
Oh, I got you.
Sorry.
Thank you. I make a motion to suspend the rule.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend the rules to take up the matter. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes, all four in agreement. And then Councilor Kohler.
I move to deem it important that Councilor Starr appear electronically and be considered in attendance.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council deem it important that Councilor Starr appear electronically and be considered in attendance as per council rules. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously. Council President Starr's status is now changed to present. And good to see you. All right, with that, we are going to go to committee reports. I have several people signed up. We've had a busy first half of the month. So I'm going to start off with Jane Herb for the Volunteer Coordinating Committee.
Good evening, Mayor Clark, Council President Starr, and City Councilors. Jane Herb with the Volunteer Coordinating Committee, Keizer resident. And I'm grateful to be here with you tonight to share what's been happening with the Volunteer Coordinating Committee. A couple of pieces of good news. We are coordinating with the CDEC committee to create a video with the McNary video production class to describe how one goes about volunteering with the city of Keizer. So we're very excited about that. We're hopeful that that video will come out in early May and be posted on city websites and social media. Secondly, if you all approve our latest two recommendations from our meeting last week for the Arts Commission, we will have all of the volunteer positions completely filled for the city. So that's good news too. And then I'm here mainly because I need to talk to you about, it was brought to our committee's attention that there has been some attendance issues at some of the committees. And so we looked at, notwithstanding tonight, but we looked at some verbiage and how that is handled. And we found that years ago, I think it was 2003, there were similar issues. And so there was a rule made that people needed to attend 75% of the time. So we kind of thought about that, and it doesn't appear that there is any way to handle anybody who is not attending to that level. And so we were considering maybe making a proposal for just kind of fleshing that out about how the city should handle that if volunteers are not showing up to that level. And so we discussed it in our committee last week, a really good, thoughtful discussion of how it might be handled, and came up with a few bullet points about it. And then we also thought it would be important for the committees themselves to weigh in before we went any further. So first, we would like to know if city council and mayor want us to actually present these ideas to council for your consideration. And then secondly, if so, would you like us to send our ideas to the chairs of the committees, or have the city recorder or deputy city recorder send those ideas as an agenda item for each of the committees so that they can discuss it as well and provide any additional input or ideas?
Well, actually, I'm going to lead off if I may, because
please.
I was
Thank
on
you.
the volunteer coordinating committee in 2003 when we wrote those rules. So, yeah, I've been around a little bit. To deal with exactly what you said, there were some committees where we were having some attendance issues, and not like tonight where we have notice for people, they just weren't showing up. We didn't have a process in place. So part of it was to put in the attendance review when somebody applied for renewal, and making that a criterion, which you all see when you get a packet from a renewal. And so thank you for thinking this through on process. Having things written down is super important. And I would like to look at my fellow counselors if there's a preference on how this gets shared out to the committees for their review, although that is would be my recommendation that they weigh in on this as well, to give input on how they would like to receive that information, process this information, and make recommendation if there is an attendance issue. Looking for initial guidance. Counselor Christopher?
So, Jane, are the choices you go to each of the committee in person, or you're going to send your proposal to the committees and ask for feedback? Are those the two choices?
No, I wasn't planning to go.
Oh, okay.
Though, you know, if
Oh,
I
either
was needed to, it was, the options were, should we just send it to the chair by email and have them, you know, consider it and send feedback? Or should it actually go on as an agenda item at their meetings coming up?
okay.
And so that the whole committee could share and discuss rather than just the chair, because sometimes chairs change and things.
I would be in favor of B.
Ditto. Is that by consensus, that go as an agenda item for each of the committees to review?
And then they have to do it.
Well, then, yeah, then they've got to look at it, but also we hear from the whole committee. And then we get their particular way in which their committee functions. So it might not be one size fits all, but we don't know until we ask. So thank you for helping us deal with process. Council President Starr, do you have anything on that?
No, I concur with the suggestion.
Okay. Yeah, so mine's
Thank
off to
you.
the side. All right, check that
Okay.
box.
Very good. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Next up is a committee report from Larry Scruggs for the Planning Commission.
Good evening, Mayor Clark, members of the council. Last week, the Planning Commission met. First thing we did is spend some time going over the strategic plan, which you had discussed the previous week, and we refreshed our memory and our understanding of the plan. We then received training on the quasi-judicial process, led by Mr. Lindsay and assisted by Mr. Witham. We reviewed ex parte contact, conflicts of interest, actual and potential, and bias in the decision-making process. We reviewed the process of the hearing of an application, applicable rules, actions, and regarding the staff report and other things. And then we discussed, what do you do after you've received the testimony? We discussed much about deliberations, what to do with continuances, and making a decision and what can happen after the decision. We had so much fun doing that, and we have no agenda for March, so we decided to cancel the March meeting. That, of course, is subject to anything that may arise between now and then. With that, any questions from the council or comments?
No, well put. I remember going through those trainings with our city attorney over the years, and what a great time to review it since a lot of building is coming to Keizer, and we all need to be well aware of the proper processes.
Yes,
So,
it was greatly appreciated. And
Yeah.
by the way, they did an outstanding job. Great
Good.
presentation.
Good to hear. Any questions for Dr. Scruggs? All right. Council President Starr, any questions? Okay, we're good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And enjoy your time off because some of that rulemaking is coming down the pipe. And I just saw Shane kind of grimace. All right, Becca Bonner, let's talk about art. So good to see you.
Good evening, Mayor Clark and council members. My name is Becca Bonner. I am here to give the report for KPAC, Keizer Public Art Commission. So the Keizer Public Art Commission met on January 27th, 2026 at the Keizer here. Meeting was called to order at 6 by Chair Kim Stein. Quorum was present with 1 vacant seat and 1 recent resignation noted. We're still actively seeking people to fill those chairs. Some of the key parts of discussion, the Storm Drain Art Program for 2026. Commission received an update on the Storm Drain Art Program in coordination with the Environmental Division and Public Works due to the resignation of a former representative. I myself am now going to be representing KPAC for the project. I've already gone out and taken pictures of storm drains and submitted that back to KPAC. Key decisions and timeline highlights include transitioning the project from a contest model to a call to artists, 2 stream drain art installations planned for 2026, theme confirmed as Only Rain Down the Drain, and call to artists hoping to open in April or May with promotion beginning in April. Artwork selection scheduled for a KPAC vote potentially in May, and installations anticipated for July following Public Works coordination. KPAC approved allocating $200 per selected artist for a total anticipated allocation of $400. For a street art program update, it was provided on a potential street art project involving McNary High School students. The project would integrate art into roadway design as part of a curriculum-based collaboration. Materials and installation logistics are still under review. We approved the February to March 2026 gallery display featuring artwork by Joel Nickel. The commission also reviewed and confirmed our 25 to 27 gallery exhibition schedule. Our current budget is at $5,481.56 to be updated next month. Proposed Welcome to Keizer mural in partnership with Los Dos Hermanos and the Keizer Community Center with KPAC contributing $1,000. We're very excited about that. Continued financial planning for public art initiatives, including the storm drain art. And we are pretty close to finalizing our portion of the public art master plan. We reviewed it. I myself requested language to be added to explicitly affirm KPAC's commitment to cultural representation, inclusive outreach, and accessibility. Commission agreed additional refinement was needed before approval, and no action was taken at the meeting. We hope to finalize that next month. And our next meeting is scheduled for February 24th, 2026.
Fantastic. So, any questions for Ms. Bonner? Counselor Christopher?
No questions, but I'll tell you, we've got no vacancies.
Oh.
VCC, there were 2 people, I mean, we never need people, and we have for a couple of months. And so, it's not on the agenda.
It'll be on our next agenda.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But they've been invited to come next week and just sit in. 2 artists, one in design in a sign shop, and another one is a multimedia artist. So we're gonna be full up. It's gonna be great.
Wonderful.
Very exciting.
Madam
And then,
Mayor?
Mr. Lindsay?
I also would just add, because you're excited about the mural, she came in today and we got a notarized signed copy of the agreement, so it's good to go.
Wonderful. That's exciting. That's
Yeah.
very
Look
exciting.
at us, moving ahead.
Getting it done. Fantastic.
Thank
All
you.
right. And any other committee reports before I go to neighborhood associations? Oh, CDEC, yeah, Tammy. See.
Hi, Tammy Kunz, Keizer's Community Diversity Engagement Committee. We met last month, this month. Oh, time flies. We had the school board come and have a great conversation on bullying in our schools. And then we had CBEL come, which is Salem Community Business Leaders, shared on their neighborhood family councils within Cummings and Kennedy for Keizer, as well as some of the ones they have going on. Kennedy and Cummings are getting 2 new infant, toddler, kindergarten playgroups. So that's pretty exciting. We have the CDEC cards coming before you, I hope, this evening. So that should be handled. Our on-site, off-site meeting for April is all set. It'll be at the Keizer Fire Community Building. And you already heard about the video process, so I won't repeat that. We have put on hold the All Nations Day till we get some of the other things on our list checked off and ready to roll. Other than that, things are looking good.
Counselor Christopher.
So when you say you put it on hold, are you still looking to implement that in 26 or is it on hold till 27?
I think it'll come back in 26.
Oh, okay, so it's just been delayed.
It's just been delayed. We put it on hold to get some of the other items on the agenda that were needed to get caught up on and done, taken care of so that we didn't overload anybody.
Okay.
Any other questions for Ms. Kunz? Okay,
Thank you.
that is a lot of committee work going on. Any neighborhood associations tonight? Okay, and our youth counselor is working tonight, so we will not be hearing from her at this time. This takes us to public comment. The time is provided for citizens to address the council on any matters other than those on the agenda scheduled for public hearing. We have one public hearing scheduled this evening, this authorization for a supplemental budget, Keizer Little League. So if you're here for that, stand by. And with that, it is my pleasure to invite up Tim and Donna Berry from the Gold Star Family Memorial Monument. The newlyweds.
Mayor Clark, councilors, everybody else.
Good evening.
I don't know how to address everyone. Thank you all. I would like to say on behalf of the Woody Williams Foundation and the Gold Star Family Memorial Monument Committee, thank you. The city has been beyond all expectations in the support that was provided, the volunteers from the community, everything that went into this project. I can tell you directly from the Woody Williams Foundation, this was one of the, I think, smoothest installs of a monument that they've come across. This was 154, and they said this was one of the smoothest. So thank you, City of Keizer. We do have a couple of individuals that were not recognized during our normal ceremonies. So if I could, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank both of them. Your Honor, may I approach the bench?
How about I can join you
Okay.
in front?
First off, Adam Brown, thank you. Your contributions, design work, everything that you did was outstanding. Made for a beautiful plaza. And the way the monument sits, I don't know if anybody has been out there yet. It catches the sunrise on the face. And I was just out there, picked up some of the stuff from the ceremony. And sunset, even in winter, still coming through that silhouette. So outstanding.
So if we can do it here, we can get a picture with our background. Good, Councilor Starr.
And Lori, if you would. Your contributions and support were heartfelt, and thank you. We really appreciate it.
Ready, set?
All right, I still got 3 minutes, so I'm just no, I'm just kidding.
Actually, with that, for people who are watching at home, would you please tell them what this is, where it is? Because this meeting is broadcast and these videos can be shared.
Oh.
So for those who don't know, and I can't imagine anybody who doesn't, but we've been hip deep in this work. Tell us about the Gold Star Family Memorial Monument and the significance for Keizer in our state.
Oh, well, this is the first Woody Williams Gold Star Family Memorial Monument in the state of Oregon. There are 153 others around the country. And when I found out, when we kind of realized that Oregon didn't have one, we thought Keizer was the perfect place to bring this opportunity here. So what this monument represents is the kind of a thank you to our Gold Star families. Gold Star families are families that have lost service members. Oftentimes they are forgotten. And this is a way for this beautiful community to recognize their sacrifice. And it is a place of community and a place to have where families can come together and remember together. So
And
I'd like-
what's beautiful about it is, I'm a Gold Star sister, and I'm originally from Florida. And no matter where a Gold Star family is, they can come here and just sit and reflect for their loved one. And that's such a beautiful thing, and Keizer has been so lovely to support and just sharing that with those Gold Star families. And I've never seen a community rally behind. I know we use the word rally a lot, but they really do. Keizer has been beautiful in rallying behind Gold Star families. And I'm just so thankful for that and very appreciative. I've just never seen that. And just for me in general, I can't tell you how thankful I am for that. And I appreciate all of you for that.
Well, we hope that this is a place that continues to bring love and respect and a place of peace for our Gold Star families, their loved ones, their friends, and a place where, as we saw at the dedication, people came up, they laid their rose and they said the name.
Absolutely.
Keeping the memory alive, the love alive. And as long as we do that and continue to bring the humanity of what our freedom costs, we will always remember the very high value that our freedom has. Thank you for bringing this project to Keizer. Thank you for entrusting us with it. And thank you to everybody who made such a significant difference in bringing this project together. It was true collaboration throughout our entire community.
yes, indeed.
Yes, we're grateful to each and every one of you. Thank you.
And the location that is in Keizer Station, in the PFC Ryan J. Hill Memorial Park.
Yes. Yes, most important.
Absolutely.
Councilor Kohler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to express my appreciation as an undertaker, having worked with families that have lost servicemen. I know a little part of the impact that it makes in their lives, not only that week, that month, that year, but for their whole lives. And I applaud you for the work that you've done there and the difference it'll make in so many people's lives. Thank you.
I think it's been an honor.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Any other comments?
Try to find another project for you.
Yeah,
We'll gladly take it.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. From that, we will, did anybody else want to offer public comment at this time? I don't have anybody else signed up. Okay, we will now go to our consent calendar. Counselor Kohler, would you please read the items on tonight's consent calendar?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Approval of the January 26, 2026 work session minutes. Approval of February 2nd, 2026 regular session minutes. A resolution adopting work after retirement policy 2026.
Thank you very much. Are there any polls? Seeing no polls, Counselor Kohler?
I move we approve the consent calendar A through C.
I'll second.
It's been moved and second to approve the consent calendar. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously. That takes us to our public hearing. And I will open up a public hearing, resolution authorization for a supplemental budget, Keizer Little League. Mr. Brown?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Assistant City Manager Tim Wood is going to handle this.
All right, Mr. Wood.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Madam Mayor, City Council. At the January 5th, 2026 City Council meeting, we entered into an agreement for management of the Keizer Little League fields. At that moment, we identified that there needed to be a supplemental budget. This is the supplemental budget to appropriate the beginning working capital. We're going to be moving $20,000 out of the Park Services Fund that had been earmarked for the Little League already. We're going to move that to a new fund, the Keizer Little League Fund. We're also going to be moving $125,000 in the general fund transient occupancy tax that had been identified for park-related improvements. We're going to be moving that for capital outlay. So in total, we're going to be creating a Little League Fund with approximately $145,000 of transfers in to fund the startup costs. With that, I'd be free to address any questions. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Any questions of Mr. Wood? All right. Counselor Kohler, would you like to, no, I forgot. I don't think I have anybody signed up for the public hearing. Is there anyone here who would like to address the council on this matter under the public hearing? Going once, twice, okay. Does council need anything further before we put the motion on the table? Okay, public hearing is now closed. Counselor Kohler.
I move the City Council adopt Resolution R 2026, authorization for supplemental budget, Keizer Little League.
Second.
Can I see that real quick? Thanks. It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council adopt Resolution R 2026, authorization for supplemental budget, Keizer Little League. Discussion. Okay, Councilor Christopher. Yes.
I'm thinking. I withdraw.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously with 2 absent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I did the math right. All right, that concludes public hearings. Councilor Christopher.
I'm just not familiar with, what is the process we have for changing the name of a park?
So, Madam Mayor and Council, the naming is, we'll have to look to your rules, but the naming, I believe, comes under the purview of the City Council.
The what?
Under the purview of the City Council.
Okay.
What we're looking to do at the Keizer Little League field is get a naming sponsor that the council would approve of. We wouldn't do that without approval, but that's something they're looking at, talking with community members about, local community members, because it's a revenue possibility. So, but it would have to be one that you would feel comfortable with.
And how does that work? Does it work on an annual basis then? Like, they
It
would
could
find?
be, most likely, they'd probably look for at least a 5-year agreement, if not a 10-year agreement, but something more long-term that would have an annual income, annual, amount to it.
Okay, so why didn't we explore that option with Keizer Fields?
Honestly, they never, pursued it, never brought it to attention. It was not on our radar. We've never, this is the first, we've never operated it as a city. It's always been operated under another club. And it wasn't until, Bill Lawyer, the past Public Works Director, and I sat down and talked with Keizer Little League president, and she said, you guys gotta change the name of this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting calls all the time because they're Keizer Little League, so people assume it's that park, and so she takes that call. So really, that hasn't really been on our radar until the last 8 months, so.
Well, and I liked the consistency, like, I like Keizer Field soccer, football, Keizer Field's baseball, softball. I mean, I liked that consistency unless we get a boatload of money for somebody to call it whatever.
We're also looking for a sponsor for the artificial turf fields.
So then they
Two.
would change names as well.
We
Like it would be McDonald's Keizer Fields.
It could be, yeah.
Okay. So we could still do McDonald's Keizer Fields, baseball, softball.
We have done this
Yeah.
before. Do you remember, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it
That's
just
okay.
occurred to me. Do you remember at the dog park? It was
Yes.
Kaiser Veterinary Dog Park. They did a donation for that for a number of years for the duration of that agreement. That was the name on it. But
And
it
now-
was for a limited duration.
And now it's just Keizer Dog Park. I feel so much better if we stayed with the consistency of the Keizer Fields theme that, I don't know who came up with that, but I think it's a great name. But put the sponsor in front of it. Then I like that, because then you've got the consistency of Keizer Fields baseball, softball, Keizer Fields soccer, football, but then whoever sponsors that, in front of that.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice naming convention.
I
Mr.
do
Brown?
too, I do too.
And I don't know if you're thinking about this, but the nonprofit that runs the artificial turf fields is Keizer Community Fields. That's their nonprofit name. So, they are, or we as a city are looking for a sponsor for that because that could help us finish phase 3. And then we're also looking for
So
field.
McDonald's Keizer Community Fields.
It,
Burger
yes, yeah, it could be that, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. And, we're also looking for naming of the fields, so it could be Dutch Brothers Field.
You mean each side or one?
Yeah, so you could be on Dutch Brothers Field, just put it out there, or SMI Field,
And those will come to us for approval?
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't think we want approval.
Well, they pay the money, but, the other part is too that, I think that was written in the contract, that naming, is subject to approval.
Great.
Great. That's what I seem to recall.
Sorry for that little one-off, but we keep calling it Keizer Little League, and I keep thinking, when are we gonna change that?
Well, it is very historical and.
100%.
Yeah. But it hadn't occurred to me that they would start getting phone calls, so, Counselor Kohler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As long as this, I know this isn't necessarily on the agenda, but if we're going to talk about sponsorship, we ought to talk about a sponsorship for the dog park, a sponsorship for the pickleball, any of those type things. Why not put a sponsor on it and
Help defray the cost.
help a little with the maintenance?
So we kind of got into other business here, so,
Yeah, sorry.
no, that's okay. So let's go ahead and put a pin in this. I think that Mr. Brown and team got the idea and can take it through Parks Board and other, legal considerations. And if there's a need for any, updates to our processes, those can come to us. Because as we've been going through our ordinances and resolutions, we've been finding corrections. So this might be another opportunity for that. And also then updates, bringing it up to 2026, how we want to operate things going forward. In specificity on the Little League field, let's talk about how we want to address that conversation with the stakeholders. And then, see if we can bring something back for discussion. Would that be all right with everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we just kind of jumped, and now let's go ahead and jump back to our administrative action. The first item is item 9A, recycling modernization funding authorization. Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. Our Public Works Director, Ms. Blaylock, is going to cover this.
All right.
Cover this item.
Ms. Blaylock.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, councilors.
Hey, can you pull your microphone a little closer?
Whoops.
Thank you.
Okay, check.
Yep.
This request is to authorize funds to be released from Circular Action Alliance to Marion County Public Works Environmental Services in order to pay our haulers for the expanded services they're providing to support Keizer's compliance with the Plastics Pollution and Recycling Modernization Act. A mouthful, it's the RMA. The RMA requires local governments, including us, the city of Keizer, to expand access to recycling services, upgrade facilities that sort recyclables, and reduce impacts from waste materials such as plastic pollution. Contamination reduction is one of those requirements. The RMA included a funding mechanism known as the Producer Responsibility Organization, or PRO program, and that is funded or regulated by DEQ, Oregon Department of Environmental Quality, and administered by their contractor, which is Circular Action Alliance. In July of 25, Circular Action Alliance began collecting fees from companies that produce packaging, paper products, and food serviceware, and they're required to join that program. So they pay fees, and then those fees are collected by Circular Action and then distributed to local municipalities to implement the requirements of the RMA. We know that these services are provided by our local haulers and not by the city. Therefore, as a voting member of the Marion County Material Management Advisory Council, the city of Keizer supported a countywide contamination reduction management plan that would allow Marion County Public Works Environmental Services to administer funds to haulers. Our staff contacted both local haulers, Lawrence Sanitation and Recycling, and Valley Recycling and Disposal, who are here tonight, and who have independently confirmed their support for this approach. Circular Action Alliance is prepared to release funds in the amount of approximately $117,800. I do want to note that the city of Keizer will still be responsible for compliance with the RMA and for annual reporting to the DEQ. The city will have the opportunity to elect to retain funding in the future, should we wish to do so. So with that, staff is recommending the council approve the city manager to authorize Circular Action Alliance to release funds in the amount of $117,747 to Marion County Public Works Environmental Service for the purpose of funding our haulers' implementation of that management plan. Yeah.
Can we just have that, can you encap, I'm sorry.
It was a brilliant way to go through all of the acronym E's and spell it all out so that at least I could follow along. So I'll go to Council Christopher and then Councilor Kohler, do you have a question?
Can you give us the Reader's Digest version in basic person?
Yeah, there's a lot of players. So DEQ, so the RMA was passed, Senate Bill 582 was passed, and then
DEQ administers that program. DEQ hired a contractor to run the producer responsibility organization. So they set them up to run that program. And the program requires folks who are paper producers, serviceware producers to contribute through member fees to that program. DEQ contracted that out to the Circular Action, so they've been collecting these funds. Now that they've been collecting the funds, they want to distribute those funds to the municipalities. So after they've collected them, they've determined that $3 per person would be due. So the money is owed to the city of Keizer, and Circular Action is prepared to release those funds to the city. However, we don't provide those services, our haulers do. So as part of a committee that we participate in, Marion County has organized a committee of 19 cities and agencies, DEQ and the sort. They all have been working with the haulers on a management plan to address the requirements. And now we are looking to say, okay, well, if we're going to manage this from a county-wide level, then the funds should also be managed from that level.
Follow-up?
So then, when you say it needs to be managed, so that $117,000 needs to be used for items that are listed in the plan?
Well, yes, to meet the requirements.
Okay.
DEQ specifies the eligibility of those funds.
Okay.
And so they've approved of the plan. And the city of Keizer is represented on that committee by our Counselor Kohler.
That's what I thought, okay.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that folks that are listening saying, the city of Keizer just got $117,000. Is my trash bill going down? No.
No, it's to expand the services.
It's not going up
Okay.
Correct.
because of that.
Because of that?
It is
Because
not.
of that.
Oh, okay. That's really, I mean, when folks hear that we got $117,000, that's the first thing they're gonna think is, great, my bill goes down $1. Okay. Thanks, Carrie.
Of course.
All right. Counselor Kohler?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and Public Works Director, Mrs. Blaylock. That was pretty good description of about 4 or 5 months worth of meetings that I got to attend. I just call them my trash meetings, but there was a lot of work done. There's a lot of planning that's gone into things. They're going to do a lot of different education and different things that are going to happen to comply with this Senate bill. And I just wanted to recognize the work that Jenny Ammon has done on that, because she really did work hard. And you coming in just at the last minute, you did a great job summarizing everything that needs to happen, and the work that our haulers have done to make this all possible for us to be able to comply with the Senate bill is exemplary also. So again, the work that they've done, and so it's a collaboration of a lot of different things. We didn't feel like that we, as a city, needed to receive funds and then just pay the haulers. By giving the money to Marion County to begin with, it pushes that off, so it makes it a lot easier for our staff. We don't have to mess with that. We don't have to track it all and prove it all, so we can just give it to Marion County, and Marion County will give it to the haulers as they comply with things.
You speak very clear, basic person. Yeah.
I didn't use any acronyms,
Yeah, it's a mouthful. Thank you.
but I've heard them all.
Any other questions? I did have one, and I heard something in the report about there is a reporting requirement on the part of the city, because we are responsible. We're partnering here, and we know that the work is going to get done, but we do the reporting. So my question is actually on administrative cost. Is there enough of an administrative cost to us that we should be recouping that from the RMA funds?
Excuse me, my understanding is that we already have annual reporting for the Opportunity to Recycle program, which is another aspect of that. So this is just in line with that, as my understanding.
And it won't add additional reporting requirements than we already do?
It won't add it will add some, but it will not be extensive or significant as far as.
And Mrs. Ammon is on it.
Well, and that, my question has to do with the compensation for administrative, because this is a state program, as I understand it, so, you know, there's a cost to the city because there's labor involved. So I was wondering about if there's administrative cost that we should be receiving.
Madam Mayor?
Mr. Lindsay?
I've only been in a couple of meetings way back when this first was getting implemented, but I thought, and the Fallers are in the room, and they could, I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought they're supposed to get us the report that we're then sending on. And so I think whatever they do, they give that to us like a month early, and then we pass it on to DEQ. So we won't do the work on that report. I think they'll get us that report. And then if it doesn't meet muster, we might quickly go, because we have a month to look at it or whatever. But for the most part, it's going to be a pass-through report as well. And I don't know if, Adam was at the meeting where that came up too, so I think that's my memory of it.
Mr. Brown?
Yes, Madam Mayor and Council, that's been my experience too. The haulers provide all the information for the opportunity to recycle report, and then we click send to it. There is a little bit of administration. I'm not sure that collecting an administration fee out of that is even allowed. I believe it has to go for, that money's going for education for recycling, and the state is producing media that can be used for education, and then our haulers team is responsible for the distribution of that and use of that media. So that's what they'll be reporting on, is how they use it.
Each jurisdiction has to come up with their own different way of doing their education. And so there was extensive work on what can you do and what do you want to do? How do we want to do it? Do we want to just put a sticker on the cans? Do we want to make it a magnet? So we talked about all those different types of things. So our jurisdiction had a lot of say on what the advertising actually is and how it's administrated.
Okay. Thank you for that. I would like to invite our haulers, if they want to talk to us more about what this program looked like, to come up and share a word with folks, if you would wish to do so. It's not required under this agenda item, but hey, getting you in front of your clients is a good thing. Because come on down. We appreciate you coming tonight and being in person. If you want, good evening, good to see you guys.
We don't have anything prepared to say. We were just here to answer questions. And, so far the questions have been more administrative for the city. But I would say that the opportunity to recycle report that Jenny works on every year does involve some administrative time. I don't know whether that's recompensable in any way, but I know that these dollars that are being discussed tonight are specifically for education, that it is a team effort between the county and the city and the haulers, and that there are specific, it's designated in the report who's responsible for what, and any distribution of funds that comes as a result of this money from the county has to be documented and justified and fit the plan that the county is proposing. And so it's right down to when do we have to call a customer, when do we have to send an email, when does our office staff have to call customers, when there's contamination in the cart. We all had input into how we would respond to that, and we did actually procure some concessions from DEQ about the process for that education that fit our community better than what was available to us originally as far as the requirements go. So, it's a good program, and I think having the county handle the funds not only transfers a lot of headache and liability to the county, but it helps the county to maintain consistency in the various communities that they are administrating. There's a benefit to that. And so, yeah, that's all I can add to anything that's been said already.
So is this going to help people better understand what does and what doesn't go into those blue cans, and some practices that make it better, like don't put them in plastic bags, things like that?
Yeah,
That
well-
level or more?
Yeah, so they're gonna have all the, rather than, just doing contamination fees, the whole point with the funding is to have us educating, so we'll have multiple points of contact. I know they were talking about oops tags that we can leave on the containers, that'll say, oops, you left styrofoam, or what the material was. The follow-up to that will be the office contacting as well, and, either phone call, email, text messages, and just making sure that, we're making multiple contacts, especially if there's a repeat, contaminator. We'll just continue the education process, from there. Rather than just a quick, bill in the mail, we're gonna be working with the community to educate them on what they need to do to recycle properly. We've been pushing social media as well, a lot of stuff out there, so, as much information as possible, as we're getting it out.
Yeah, I see it in my feed, so well done. All right, any other questions? Thank you so much for being here tonight and for doing this program to make our recycling better.
Our pleasure.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, Counselor Kohler.
I move the city council approve the city manager to authorize the Circular Action Alliance to allow Keizer's portion of the Producer Responsibility Organization funds to be distributed to Marion County Public Works Environmental Services for allocation to the local waste management service providers. With no acronyms.
Good job.
Yes, I second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council approve the city manager to authorize the Circular Action Alliance to allow Keizer's portion of the Producer Responsibility Organization funds to be distributed to Marion County Public Works Environmental Services for allocation to the local waste management service providers. Any question, any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously, 2 absent. Let's go to item 9B, which is Event Center Use Fee Waiver, McNary Athletic Booster Club Auction. Ms. Brown?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Council. Mr. Wood has this item.
All right, Mr. Wood.
Thank you. Madam Mayor, City Council, the city has received a request to waive the fees for an event center event. The McNary Athletic Booster Club is having their annual auction this year, and they would like to hold it here. They have been to the event center in the past. In March of 2025, they came and made use of the $600 one time a year 501c fundraiser discounted fee of $600. They are requesting a waiver of $1,581.25. That represents the $600 for the 12 hours of use. In addition, they are planning on using 3 additional hours at $243.75 an hour. And then they also requested use of stage and the audio-visual equipment. The fundraiser is to benefit the students in the McNary area, to provide uniforms, offset fees, offset tournament related costs, those kind of things. And with that, I'd be free to address any questions.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions on the event center use fee waiver from McNary Athletic Booster Club? Councilor Christopher.
So they did this last year,
That is correct.
so they do one fundraiser a year.
I think they're constantly fundraising, but this is the first auction, or the second time they've had their auction at our event center.
Okay, and last year they did it and they utilized the $600.
That is correct.
And what do but this year, they can't do that because they need 3 more hours and they need a stage and audio visual. And they didn't have that last year.
That is my understanding.
They're just adding those extras.
Oh, they are utilizing the $600 this year.
Yes.
Correct, yes.
And the additional is $5,000 worth of additional that then they're asking us to waive.
No, 1,500.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, I thought you said 4,700, okay. So sorry. Yeah,
1,581.
okay. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't, obviously.
Okay. Oh, Mr. Hutchins is here.
Oh, great.
You want to come down and tell us about this? Please come on down. Thank you.
Yeah, come help me.
Maybe we can help a little bit. So, well, good evening, Madam Mayor and councilors and staff. My name's James Hutchins, and this is Kate Ham-Helvey, and we're both board members for the McNary Athletic Booster Club, both also Keizer residents. So the reason we're here today, the boosters here, as you guys already know, some of you guys have helped us out in the past on there. We're a fully volunteer organization, just concerned members here in the community that want to provide opportunities for our student athletes at McNary High School. So we help with the fundraising to be able to provide equipment, travel, uniforms, and different events that we've been doing for them. We have multiple fundraisers to that. So one of them is our concession stand. So anytime you're at any of our McNary athletic events, please come buy that popcorn. It's really hot. We have some fantastic hot dogs, pizza from Odno's Pizza. We have lots of great stuff out there. So come and support us in that way. But we do have a couple other fundraisers, and one of them is our holiday bazaar that we just had over the holiday season. And then we also have the athletic booster auction. And so that's what we're trying to revive a little bit more here. You know, just letting you kind of know what some of the other things we do for the community is. For the past 3 years, we've paid about 300 student athletes fees for their athletics. So we're removing some of those barriers that allow them to be able to participate into McNary athletics there. We also have one that we're really working hard on right now, is a new hitting barn for our baseball and softball programs on that. And so that's in the architect stage and drawings, and I know we're working with the city for location portions on that. So we're excited. Hopefully that facility will be serving our Keizer kids here for years to come. So this fee waiver that we've requested here is to allow us to be able to have this event and be able to put that money into our students on there. So that's what we're asking there, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you very much. Any questions for Ms. Ham and Mr. Hutchins?
I wish you'd come down before I ask questions.
I'm sorry.
No, thank you for being here tonight and for what you're doing for our student athletes. So you mentioned that 300 students, their fees got covered and so forth, and projects. If people want to know more about the McNary Athletic Booster Club, how can they find out?
They can go to our website.
McNaryabc.com.
Yes, McNaryabc.com. So you can go on there. We're always looking for volunteers. So many hands make light work. So we have a really hardworking board. But again, we're all parents of athletes or past athletes. And so just wanting to make sure that they have that opportunity. So we're always looking for that help.
Fantastic. Any other questions from folks? All right, thank you so much
All right, thank
for
you.
coming and sharing. Anything further, or shall we put a motion on the table?
What a motion.
Go for it.
I move the city council approve a waiver of the event center use fees of $1,581.25 for the McNary Athletic Booster auction on April 25th, 2026.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council approve a waiver of the event center use fees of $1,581.25 for the McNary Athletic Booster Club auction on April 25th, 2026. Discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously, 2 absent. All right. 4:25 is going on my calendar. Okay, thank you very much. Let's go on to item 9C, which is the 2026 Keizer Community Survey. Mr. Brown.
Madam Mayor and council members, I brought this to you a couple weeks ago, last month, and I had the wrong survey in the packet, which was awful. This one has the corrected ones with the strikeouts we did and the various other corrections. What the request before you today is to approve and/or amend the part of the survey that is at your discretion. They give us some questions that we can add specific to our community. And to start at question 12, 13, and 14 is what we have in there so far. You also wanted to make sure it went back to the Community Diversity Engagement Committee, which it did at the beginning of this month. They made no changes to it. So the three questions we have on there now, the first one is asking our residents how important our strategic priorities are by each one: public safety, transportation infrastructure, so on, all 6 of the goals. The question number 13 was something that we wanted to have a town hall about, which was fluoride. And so maybe just to get some early input on that before the town hall. And then the last one is about where our community members get their information about Keizer City government. And so we added to the previous list newsprint, because that wasn't on there. We have the city website, our Channel 23 live broadcasts, talking with city officials, word of mouth, social media, and then newsprint. So we would like your input and/or approval to go forward with these discretionary questions or any amendments you have to it.
Questions or comments on 12, 13, and 14?
No.
Looks like you got it. All right. Counselor Kohler, would you like to go ahead and put a motion on the table?
Did you look through the whole thing?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I move the city council approve the discretionary questions as presented in the proposed Keizer Community Survey.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council approve the discretionary questions as presented in the proposed Keizer Community Survey. Discussion? Counselor Christopher.
Just want to remind folks, and I know you've done it before, but tell us again, this survey came to us from?
Yes, well, it's a recommendation from staff, but it's part of the it's called the National Citizen Survey, National Community Survey now. But it's an instrument that's over probably around 30 years old, and 500 communities across the country use this same instrument. And we have a lot of cities in Oregon that also use it.
Standardized questions.
Yes.
So we only eliminated the ones that just did not apply to our community because of our size.
Right, and/or we didn't want questions in there that we didn't
couldn't affect
have
change on.
ability to change, so, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously, 2 absent. All right, let's go to item 9D, resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a letter of intent with, drum roll please, U.S. Market Keizer Station Area C1. Good news. Mr. Brown.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor and Council, for this item. Happy to bring it forward to you. It's a letter of intent to purchase the multiple lots, but our basic people would understand it as the property between what we call it the Big Triangle, between Lock Haven, Shamawa, and McLeod. And we are, there's 2 owners in that, technically 3, but the 2 of them are just under different names. But it's 3.58 acres. The selling price will be 4.6 million. And we own just a little over half of that property. So our cut's about 2.3 million. And then also just to remind you that We owe, I think, around 1.3, 1.4 million to the street fund for the purchase of that property. And then another $450,000 we borrowed from the transportation fund to buy the centerpiece of that property, which is where the egress and ingress will be. So we won't see a lot of profit on this, but according to strategic plan, excess dollars would go towards paying down our PERS liability. So every little bit would help. And the buyer is willing to put down $250,000 cash in escrow. And we are, would like an expedited closing of 120 days. We have an agreement unless the city holds them up at all. That's the plan, is to do it pretty as fast as we can. They do have to go through a master planning process. So the timing of the training on the quasi-judicial experience and task is great for this developer and for our team on the planning commission. They should be ready for that. And that master planning process is also largely in the hand of the developer to do. So it'll be US Market and Gas Station Island, and then there will be other pads, I think probably 2 other paths within that site that they'll fill out. So we are requesting your approval on the letter of intent.
Madam Mayor.
Mr. Lindsay.
Can I add one thing too? And just so you know and everybody else knows, a letter of intent isn't binding, but it gives the intention of the parties to go forward in good faith. And so it isn't actually selling it yet, even though we've heard all of what the sale is. You will hear, this will come forward as a purchase and sale agreement, and all of these details will be there, and the public will have a chance to be heard in a public hearing before we actually do execute that purchase and sale agreement. So this is sort of a snapshot of what's just about to happen a couple meetings from now.
So it's like the first step in the engagement. Okay. Counselor Christopher?
And so will that include a completed master plan?
No, that process, the land use process will go on then for that 180-day period.
Okay.
You mentioned the planning commission and quasi judicial. Will that also apply to city council?
The quasi judicial part will, yes, because what happens is planning commission will be a recommending body to you guys for your for your consideration of what is being proposed in the master plan amendment. And of course, it'll go through our planning director here. We'll have to look at it and see what level of process you guys would need. If it's within a certain amount, it'll only be amendment. If it's a huge change, then it would be a whole new master plan. But he'll work with the applicants. Yeah.
The purpose of my question is to remind council, but also the public, about the rules under which the council will need to conduct itself during this process. We're not only a seller, but then the council will need to make sure that we comply with the quasi-judicial rules and statutes.
Correct.
A little bit different than some of the legislative we've done, which have a far lower bar. So.
Correct. And this also, anybody in Area C is, anybody who actually participates can be a party, but anybody in Area C could also, have rights in their own land around there. So when you're talking about changing the whole master plan, you just want to be careful, just as you're saying, when you're in part of the quasi-judicial process, right? Sorry, my phone was on silent, but it was starting to buzz. It isn't necessarily just the applicant that you want to be careful about talking to in the community. It might be any of the landowners around there, because you're going to be sitting in judgment of really a plan that touches all of those lands. So just, if you're being careful about ex parte contact, please be careful about all of the landowners around there.
Good reminder.
Okay.
It's been a while since we've done one of these. So thank you, appreciate that. Any further questions
We just want to do another one here pretty quick.
Yeah, we're going to enjoy doing these. It's a good thing. All right, gets this land producing jobs. Anything further? Counselor Kohler.
I move the city council adopt resolution R 2026 authorizing city manager to sign a LOI, letter of intent, with U.S. Market Keizer Station Area C1.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council adopt resolution R 2026 authorizing city manager to sign letter of intent with U.S. Market Keizer Station Area C-1. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously, 2 absent. That brings us to item 9E, police fee follow-up. City manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. I should say, the City Council deferred an increase to the police services fee of back in June. You know, I'm thinking that I'm just speaking on, this is actually Tim's item, and he was about ready to push the button and talk, but, so, not sure why I jumped in here, but.
Oh, pass the ball.
Mr. Woods, would you like to take the ball?
Go ahead. So, let me pass this to my right, as it should be, so.
All right.
Thought I was getting off the hook here. So back in November at the city council meeting, the council elected to postpone the decision on the police services fee pending the results of the police task force. The task force has done their work. However, the city council has not had the opportunity to get together and review that work. So we're recommending at this point that the police service fee discussion really be tabled until after the work session. The work session is tentatively planned for March 7th. So sometime after that, we would recommend that you folks take up the police service fee discussion again. And at that point, you can discuss the whole work of what the task force has been assigned to do. And with that, I'd be free to address any questions.
All right, thank you. Before I go to questions, I would like to go to the chair of the task force, and that is Council President Shaney Starr, who, with Councilor Kohler and Duran, if I remember correctly, the three of you spent a tremendous amount of time and effort with staff on producing this report, and I think it is an amazing read. Would you like to comment on the work?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to recognize staff. While we spent many hours in meetings and reading the data, they spent 10 times more hours putting that report together and pulling that data together. So I think it's a outstanding piece of work and information for our community. So again, I want to thank Chief Copeland, Mr. Wood, and Mr. Brown, and those on staff that supported them in pulling that data and putting together such an outstanding report that I think does a fabulous job of bringing all the information together. I think that was a great summary, Mr. Wood, about just the importance of, number one, taking our time to make sure we get this right and not rushing and doing things early and moving, putting pieces in front of making decisions before we have an opportunity to come together as a group and discuss it. So I concur with the staff recommendation to put this, to table this topic until after our work session, which I'm excited for on a Saturday. And I think it will be time well spent. And recognizing the work that was put together in that report. And I want to thank Councilors Duran and Councilor Kohler for their time as well. They put a lot of time into that report and the conversation and the robust dialogue. So thank you to my colleagues as well.
I absolutely concur. Thank you for that. And we want to make sure that people in our community have a very easy time finding this report, so they can read it in advance of the work session and come prepared with questions for, that they will be listening for the answers to. So I'm looking at Mr. Brown, can we put this on the front page of our website so it's super easy to find? Well,
It's a thickie.
oh, we've had thicker files than this. So, yes, it looks like a bit of a read, but, it is a page,
pictures.
there's pictures and it's a page turner. So, I want to encourage you with that. I've already been going through and highlighting it and so forth. I think it also speaks to the way in which the people of Keizer want to truly understand our resources, and how we do the work of all of our departments. We get involved, we try to really understand it, even though we're not subject matter experts. We want to understand how our community runs and make informed decisions. Council President Starr?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just to build on your request to put that on front and center on the webpage, could we also push that out on social media, just the link to that, as well as also on the police department's Facebook page?
Love
So
it.
I think we have a few different pages that we could push that out on and link, at least push the link to that report out. I think it's that high quality of a report that we really want to do our best to get that out.
I think it sets the bar for other communities that want to understand public safety more holistically. And the questions that we're asking, I hope will encourage other people to ask the same questions within their community with the desire, and it's something that you often say, Council President Starr, to seek to understand.
Thank you.
So with that, Councilor Duran.
So one thing I have a question about it, since this is a work session on the March 7th, we typically don't allow comment or questions. Is there something we can do? I believe with that much information that there is going to be some questions, there's going to be some comments that want to be made. So can we do something about that, make that available? Or call it a work session? I mean, call it a
Well, we can allow it.
town hall? Okay.
Yeah.
Just, we want to make sure
Yeah,
that it's.
no, we can allow for, we generally don't because it's usually us talking to each other. But what I would suggest is that the first part of the meeting be the presentation of information so that the people who want to make comment then are hearing the same information that we are. And oftentimes that will answer a lot of questions. So then take a break and then invite the public comment and additional questions. So break it up, but make sure people hear the stuff first, rather than lead off with questions, which is our typical format for our council meetings. But that's because the packet's been published. People have had a chance to see it in advance. So that would be my suggestion. What do you guys think of that?
I think that's exactly right.
Yeah, that sounds good. I
Okay.
just want to make sure it's an option.
So Council President Starr, would you and Councilors Kohler and Duran work with Mr. Brown and their team on setting the agenda, maybe the kind of the run, how you might think this can run out, to invite and make it easier for people to come and hear. Also, we'll be able to record it and broadcast it with our friendly little owl and get it out there as well.
Absolutely, we will. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Councilor Kohler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just, again, the work that the staff did with this is pretty amazing because we would come to the meeting and we'd say, well, what about this? Where's this information? It's like, we'll have to go dig for that. And they did. And so, Chief Copeland and Tim and Adam, we threw them a lot of curves and they still hit the ball pretty hard.
I would absolutely concur. I got to listen to it later since these were task force meetings and we didn't want to have quorum, but they're all available for everybody to listen. And all of these are available. So actually, I'm going to add to this, putting the link to this document, but also on the front page, the link to the videos. of the, because these were videoed, so people could watch them as well. Because you have your auditory learners and your visual learners. Let's accommodate both. Okay. Anything else that you can think of that would help spur this conversation more deeply with the community? If you get a brainstorm at 2 o'clock in the morning, go ahead and write it down, but maybe hit send at 8. All right. With that, we do have a recommendation for a motion because this was an item that the council directed be brought back for consideration. So Councilor Kohler, would you put the motion on the table?
I move the city council table the police services fee discussion until after the upcoming related work session on March 7th.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that the Keizer City Council table the police services fee discussion until after the upcoming related work session on March 7, 2026. I'm going to add that. Okay, any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, signify by saying no. Motion passes unanimously, 2 absent. That concludes administrative action for this evening. And we will now go to other business. This time is provided to allow the mayor, city council members, or staff an opportunity to bring new or old matters before the council that are not on tonight's agenda. Go staff first. Mr. Brown, do staff members have any other business for this evening?
I do not have any other business for this evening.
All right. Council members, Councilor Christopher.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about this because I promise you I'm not exaggerating. Not a week goes by that somebody doesn't ask me about the solicitation from, let's see, what's the name? It's SLWA, but I don't know the name of it. Oh,
Service
Service Line
Line
Warranties of America. And so this is, I know you've all seen this because they send these out at least monthly or quarterly. And they do not use their logo. They use our logo. So our folks think that this is coming from the city and that we're requiring them to carry this extra insurance. Now, I don't have an opinion on whether it's good or whether it's bad. I do know this is the insurance that would cover from the main box into the house, from the street to your house.
From the meter.
From the meter, thank you. From the meter to your house. And any of those repairs can be exceedingly costly. Sometimes they are covered by homeowners. Mine is. Some, not always though. But it has nothing to do with the city other than they do get a discount in the premiums that customers do should they agree to move forward with this insurance. I forgot how much you told me. $3?
It's the discount's a couple dollars for each plan, so a couple dollars for the sanitary service line and a couple dollars for the water service line.
So we decided as a council to, this has been going on, it's been going on at least a year, right?
Oh, it's been a few years now.
Probably 3 years.
Yeah,
Probably 3 years, okay. So we decided as a city council to, in order to save that couple bucks on these insurance policies for any folks who want to take advantage of it, they could use our logo. But I don't think it's a good thing. I think that it looks deceptive. I think that it looks like the city is trying to push these insurance policies on folks. And like I said, I'm not opposed to the insurance, and I think that you should explore it and determine whether or not you need it for your home. But I don't think that we should continue on with the partnership that we have using our logo. Now, I know about, oh gosh, I bet it's been a year ago. I talked with Mr. Brown and said, look, it needs to say somewhere on here, this is not the city of Keizer. Some of the language was changed, but I mean, when it's on the envelope, the return address is the city of Keizer on the envelope. The impression is that this is city of Keizer. So what I just want to have a discussion and say, do we want to continue to do this? Because I don't think it makes us look good. I think we look deceptive. Talk amongst yourself.
So for people who are, we've all gotten these, if we are property owners and many of us have checked with our insurance on the coverage and so forth. I was one of those people who ended up paying for the repair from the meter to the house, and that was a pretty penny. And then some, although pennies are more valuable now. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I think what the question I'm hearing is, can this program be made available to the people of Keizer? Because there is a significant savings for people who have older homes and have the responsibility for the piping from the meter to the house. Can it be made available without putting the city logo on it? So I think before we say we're not going to do this, to understand what our options are and bring that
that's really
back.
all I'm asking.
Okay.
I want it to be available. I
Yeah.
want folks to get the solicitations. I just want them to get the solicitations without the return address being the city of Keizer.
Mr. Brown, can you follow up with the company and find out what the options are?
I can. I can ask them if, they had recently just made a concession that they would only do 2 mailers per year. And that they would add their logo to the envelope. I don't know if they'd continue it without ours, but I can ask.
Okay. Information is
And
power.
then we can make a decision then.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, at the very least, the return address should not be us.
Get theirs on there. All right. We will, to be continued. Okay.
Okay.
With that, though, you did ask the question, and Mr. Brown did find out that there's been people in our community who have used this, and they have saved a significant amount of money. Mr. Brown, did you have that number handy? I know you had it on your computer.
I do, yep. Sorry, I'm stealing power. I'm here, okay. So we have, I do get these monthly updates, and if the council wants to see them, I'm happy to share them, but they have 775 people that are using the program. That's 1,500 policies, because there's a water service line, a sewer service line, and then the other one is for added insurance inside your house, which there's a lot less of those. So most of them are the ones that aren't covered by your insurance and or the city. So they have made a total of 66 repairs. Most of them were to the sanitary service line. 44 of those, 11 were to the water service line, and then 11 to the internal or inside, for a total of $96,000 in repairs. What kind of jumped out at me is that 66 out of 775 is kind of a high utilization rate. Just as I was looking at those this evening again, but that's the use of it, and I'll ask. And that's all we can do, right?
All right. Information is power, as we've just been discussing. Any other business this evening? All right, then we will go on to staff updates, and we'll start with Mr. Cleaver.
None tonight.
All right, thank you. Mr. Brown?
I'll get 2 opportunities this week. One was this morning to talk to the chamber about the master plan, and the second one, talking to the Rotary Club about the master plan opening for consideration of the pavilion at Keizer Rapids Park. And then our work session on Monday will be the town hall for this one. Last opportunity for everybody to come in and tell the council what you think about this possibility.
I just wanted to say that your slides this morning showing the relative size and position, that was so helpful. Talk about a picture paints 1,000 words. That was fantastic. That was a lot of thousands of words, showing the park, what these different venues in different cities look like and how they would fit in that space, was just really, really helpful and very informative.
Thanks, and those were done by MIG, the one who's been managing, except for the very last one, where we talked about the difference in location on Shamawa Road. That was the only one I pulled together to add to it, so most credit to the MIG.
Okay, thank you to MIG, and well done. All right, Mr. Wood.
Just a reminder for the folks that live in the north part of town, you got 2 more weeks to conserve water and then your sewer rate is locked in for the rest of the year. So make the next 2 weeks count and end this period with a parched mouth, and you might be happy. So, people on the north side of town are those people that pay their bills during the even-numbered months. So if you're paying it during February, April, June, that's the north side. So south side, you're already done. Use all the water you want, fill the hot tub.
All
Thanks.
right, I'm good to go. All right, thank you very much. Ms. Bissett.
Nothing tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Chief?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, City Councilors. Just a couple things that happened this last week, which are pretty exciting. And HR Director Cleaver did not mention it, but we hung out on Friday night with Haley Seth, our environmental what's her title? Compliance coordinator. I knew there was a coordinator in there somewhere at Cummings Elementary at a community business education leaders. It was a family fun night. So there's a bunch of vendors there and quite a few folks that showed up. So we ran a couple tables and booths and hung out with the folks there. Had a great event with Council President Starr was there with the Valor Mentoring fundraiser, Knock 'em Down to Lift 'em Up through Valor Mentoring. And then what else did we do? We did lots of fun stuff. I went to West Keizer Neighborhood Association meeting as well. So that was super fun. And we talked about the police task force, a little bit about the task force, not much, but we talked about the staffing report. So they asked me to speak on that. So I got lots of compliments at the end of that. And so anyways, not just for me, but the entire police department. And then at a prompting of an unnamed city councilor, they're really asking for kind of a Facebook, Instagram, social media posting on calls for service, kind of like monthly calls for service. So if you happen to check your Facebook or Instagram feed, it is up and posted as of tonight. So if you're not a social media person, but you are a city council watcher, we did respond to 1,663 calls for service in the month of January, not to include graffiti or ill parks. 72 of those were trespasses, 52 were family disturbances, 96 were, we had 96 arrests, 14 DUI arrests, 20, man, if I put my glasses on, I could probably read that. What does that say? 21 crashes that we responded to and 81 thefts. So that is up, and we will be providing those social media postings monthly from here on out.
That's a great idea. Thank you for doing that.
Show of hands, who likes that information? See?
Yep.
So good.
Yeah, we know a certain fire district that has been doing that for quite some time, and it's really helpful to get that snapshot of, oh, okay, it's not just donuts, it's actually you're out there. I do say that.
I mean, every once in a while we do have a donut or two, but then we have to, of course, run our couple miles, right?
That's right.
Yeah, while we're responding.
And
on
you
the way
work it
back.
off. Yeah.
Thank you, that's all.
Excellent, thank you. Communication, it's awesome. Ms. Blaylock?
Thank you. I don't have any updates, but I would like to say that I appreciate all the work that my team is doing, and they have really been doing a great job keeping things rolling and bringing me up to speed. I feel like I'm just been learning everything, and so it's been wonderful, and so I'd like to thank everybody for their help.
I do want to give a shout out for the water main replacement on Dearborn. That's my neighborhood, and it's been efficient, and the people who have been doing the work have been really great to work with as they're moving along that road and keeping things flowing. So good job in terms of traffic.
Thank you.
Mr. Witham?
I don't have anything specific tonight. There are there's some construction going on in Verda. Permits were just released last week. That is going to be like kind of the first official cottage cluster development in Keizer. So that's a little bit exciting. So you'll see as that starts going what a cottage cluster can look like. Sure they are. So that's one. And then there's the last big tenant in Area A, Those permits are very close. I think I've put it in the weekly update a couple times. I keep thinking they're going to get issued. We're working through just a couple little details with the developer there, waiting on them to get us some information. Don't have any tenants officially yet, but that's very close to happening, which is exciting because that's really the last pad site in Area A. So that's the one next to REI. So,
Yeah, well,
hopefully those will get issued real soon. But yeah, other than that,
What's real soon?
I mean, if he sends us what he needs to send us and Joe's okay with it, it's, like, we're just waiting on them. I mean, it could be a day. It could be 2 days. I thought I was going to have it on Friday and he didn't send it back to me. So I'm hoping this week.
but of course, then inquiring minds want to know. And it's up to the developer or the property owner to finally let the cat out of the bag of who's coming. But there's great deal of interest. So if you communicate that, or if they watch this program, there's a great deal of interest by the entire community. All right, Mr. Lindsay.
No real report. Thanks again for the generosity of this town. We get President's Day off, so I got to enjoy that with my family. And so always a pleasure to be working here and always to have those little extras that you guys get. Thank you.
Thank you much. Let's go to council reports. Councilor Duran.
Well, since I'm going to talk, I'll let you know, the Gold Star Memorial was a big event that everybody here was involved in. So I just want to say that I really appreciated that event and all of the work that everybody that was involved put into it, especially Matt Lawyer and Mark Collier and the people that were out there doing the work. I mentioned a couple times I was available to help, but they never called me. So I guess they needed they had plenty of help. So that's great. So I did some stuff on the front end and the rest was done by other people. So it was great. It was a good job that was done, and the city is going to benefit from that just in the way we look. I mean, to the outside. I think it was so well put together and so well followed through that it was just an awesome project. So, other than that, I've got something to bring up, and I wasn't sure what to bring it up in, but I think this is the right place to do it. At the last SCATS Policy Committee meeting, we kicked off the task of bringing in the city of Almsville as a voting member, and we covered the history of SCATS and the original members in 1997, all recognized everyone as an equal. And then in 2003, the city of Turner was added in, and I guess that took a while. It was quite a long conversation on that one, so hopefully this one won't be quite as long. I wanted to let people know that the council know that what the options that I'm considering are accept the city of Almsville as a voting member and add them to our policy committee. And in the past, it was the city of Salem was holding out for a second vote. And if that happens this time, that's not what I'm going to be voting for. So if there's a concern, I just want people to know what my intent is. And if we need to discuss it, if anybody needs information, I've printed out some of the discretionary funds by jurisdiction that has been done over the last 20 years. And as we talked about it in our meeting, it really appears that over the last 20 years, all the jurisdictions have been very well, it looks like it's been dispersed very well. So I don't think by City of Salem not having a second vote that they're really going to lose out, because they get a large chunk of the money, not only in the City of Salem, but also in projects in Marion County that help the City of Salem. So I really think that it's a fair thing to bring in Almsville. They're already a member, but they're not a voting member.
So everybody has one vote?
Everybody has one vote. Okay. So that's my intention, and if we need to talk about it anymore, I'm happy to discuss it, but I just kind of wanted to let that out, that's my intent, and that's where I'm at.
Question. So has City of Salem changed their position?
Not definite yet, but there's been some discussion with them. So
Okay.
we'll see what happens at the next meeting.
Okay. And a follow-up question on SCATs. Some good news came in on the bid for Verda. Do you want to share that? I brought that, Mike shared it with me.
Okay, I don't have all the numbers, maybe you have them with you? 'Cause
I do,
didn't.
actually.
But I know the amounts are close. $1.2 million could be coming back, or we voted that it should be coming back to the city of Keizer. Is that what that says?
Yeah, they opened the engineers, the bids on the Verda Lane project for construction, and it was significant.
$1.78 million, less than what ODOT had projected. So it's gonna come back, and we voted that to return it to the city at a rate basically equal to what was, I can't remember what the name of what we call the additional funds that we put up.
overmatch?
Overmatch, yeah, that's what I was looking for. So the overmatch was matched by City of Keizer, and the SCATS money was, or the federal money was like $500,000 that they're gonna get back. So 1.2 something to the City of Keizer, and I think we'll all be happy to find a place to put that money. So that was definitely a good thing, and just to let you know that this wasn't a one-time thing. There was, now I can't remember who it was, but there was also another one that had just gone to bid that did the same thing, another project.
Orchard Heights.
Yeah, Orchard Heights, the West Salem project, yeah, that's right. So my guess, I mean, just looking at this, it looks like ODOT was kind of over budgeting because of the high prices.
Yeah.
That they were trying to make sure that they had funding for, and things are coming in a little bit less due to the outlook, I think, on commercial projects. I think the road construction is down a little bit across the state, so I think the bidders are really sharpening their pencils, so we're going to benefit.
Yeah, that was fantastic news. So,
Madam Mayor,
great job. Mr. Brown?
can I just add to that, just to eliminate any confusion, that money goes back to our street fund. It's not general fund money, just in case anybody out there would want to use it. We could find 100 different uses for it, I promise, but it has to stay in the street fund.
Yeah, it's, if I remember correctly, is primarily gas tax money, which can only be used for projects such as the Verda project. And the next one, of course, coming up is Wheatland, but Ms. Blaylock and her team are going to be having roads that need paved as well and repaired. So that's going to go a very long way. So that was good news.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Councilor Christopher?
So I wanted to let everyone know, a few of you have asked about what happened to the cow utility box? Why did you take the wrap off? Well, we didn't take the wrap off. City of Salem took the wrap off because they changed the box out to a different size box, but it's on order. And Public Works Director Blaylock said it was ordered last week, I thought, or this week. Anyway.
I would say last week or maybe the end.
So the cows are not going away. The cows will be back. People love that utility
coming
box,
home.
and it's coming. I also want to say, I sat in for Counselor Kohler on VCC. That committee, the tenor of that committee has really changed. They were so warm and welcoming to the applicants that applied for KPAC. And like I said, we never have opening on KPAC, and we had two. And they were worth the wait to get these artists. They're dynamite. But I just thought that the committee, you're very fortunate, Councilor Kohler, because they're doing a great job. And then I filled in at Southeast Keizer Neighborhood Association, and they're doing a great job as well. They had a safety issue around Ben Miller Park. We were able to work through that and get a letter initiated that Samantha so-and-so, is going to forward to the. Russell, thank you. Is going to forward to the committee and get that signed and get it to the principal, so maybe they can get some relief on, they don't have a crossing guard. They don't have a dedicated crossing guard. And if you guys know Ben Miller Park, that's a bad intersection. I really felt for them. So we were able to draft a letter, in that meeting, and Samantha will get it out, get it signed, and get it to the principal. Lastly, art fair is in full swing. We were painting photo op boards on Sunday. We're going to have the Scream, we're going to have American Gothic, we're going to have irises, and we're going to have Sasquatch. And so, and that's for the art fair that's going to be on the 15th, 16th, and 17th of May. That sounds like a long time away, but that's like tomorrow. It is so fast. We already have 29 artists signed up. For the art fair, we're looking to get 50. If there's any artists that are watching, this is such a wonderful opportunity if you're a fledgling artist or if you're a professional artist and you make your living doing that. We charge $150 for a booth, no commissions, and you're in conjunction with Keizer Fest, which usually gets 5,000 to 10,000 people out there. So you have a built-in audience. And there's going to be, it's the third year. We're doing great. So I just want to let everyone know, art fair's coming up, and look forward to that without the windstorm. That would be great.
Bring weights for the tents.
Yes.
Got that. Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, that was a moment.
Yeah, that was a moment.
Yeah. Counselor Kohler, so good to see you out of the Zoom box.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. First thing I'd like to do is say thank you to the counselors that filled in on a few meetings here and there, like Counselor Christopher did for 2 meetings last week. There were several that did that, and I want to express my appreciation to them for that. So yeah, it's good to be back. Sorry about the tan, but you know,
It's a tough life. Somebody's got to do it.
life's rough, then you die. So Keizer Community Dinner is on the 25th, and the training center for all the priests out in Mount Angel are going to bring a whole group of them, 30 of them, to actually come and prepare the meal and serve it and take care of us. So bonus time. So be sure and come on the 25th, start serving at 4:30. So come on down. So what day is that? 25th. Thank you for remembering. And it's been interesting being out of town, doing things on the Zoom. I've got 500 emails and go through them all, and the little packet that we use for the police fee that was yay thick, reading that on my phone was not a good thing, and so I would email it to myself on something else, and it was such a big file that it just didn't like to do it. So anyway, it was arduous, but thank you for everybody that worked with the police task force and put all that together, because I think this is going to be a real good thing for Keizer. So that's probably enough for now.
Okay. It's a good transition home.
I did watch the ribbon cutting for the Gold Star Memorial. I know that was one of the things that I was really bummed about missing when I was going to be out of town. I missed Mr. Lawyer's retirement party. So
that was good too.
There were a number of things that I just missed that I normally would have really enjoyed, like Keizer per Citizen Banquet, things like that. But it's good to be back, and we'll move forward, keep going.
Awesome. Council President Starr.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As Chief Copeland mentioned, I had the opportunity to attend the Knock 'em Down, Lift 'em Up event for Valor Mentoring, where I was so excited to bring home the lowest score trophy. So super proud of that. It was so low, I don't think I have to worry about anybody challenging me for that title next year. So such a great event for a great organization that does great work. Also, attended the West Keizer Neighborhood Association as well. Also want to make sure everyone's aware of the Chamber After Hours on Thursday. It's a meet and greet with the new executive director, Mr. Dan Klum. So it's a great win for Keizer. So I'd encourage people to come out and meet Dan. They'll just be delighted at the direction and with his leadership. So I'm excited for that as well, coming up on, that's Thursday at 5:30 at the Keizer Chamber of Commerce office. So with that, they are off and running, and I look forward to wrapping that up, or I did wrap that up. So thank you for everyone's grace and patience during that time. And that's all I have for updates. So thank you.
All right, thank you, and thank you for your work to get them ready for this next step forward. Just a couple of things to add. I've been busy with the Council of Governments. We're getting ready for the annual dinner, which is on March 5th. If you haven't registered, council members, please do. That's going to be at Western Oregon University at their Warner Center. Looking forward to that. And they're also going to do another name the city in this historical photo game. So we did it last year, and you had to figure out which city each of these pictures came from. And that was a lot of fun as we're trying to figure out the ones from our own city. So I want to thank the Keizer Cultural Center for providing the Keizer pictures this year, and Mr. Brown for helping get some city pictures for the slideshow as well. Looking forward to that, and some of us know the award winners, so, but we're not saying anything. But it's going to be, it's going to be a lot of fun. So March 5th for that. I got a chance to be part of the panel for the Salem Chamber Youth Leadership Program. And McNary was extremely well represented along with Council President Starr. We had 4 McNary students as part of that program. We represent, Blanchette was also extremely well represented there as well. We got some great questions and really enjoyed getting to learn about these young people who are seeking to build their education experience in leadership. Let's see. One of the things I got to go to was, it was in Salem. This was the capacity, they have a new name. It was SVN. So this is a capacity commercial group, which is, of course, Kurt Arthur and his group did their annual economic forum. So this was Economic Forum 26. They had speakers about our different economic sectors with, business in general and the industrial land, office, agriculture, retail, multifamily, and residential development. Chock full of data. I'm going to be gleaning some of this to talk about on the Keizer side for the State of the City address, but I just want to thank Capacity Commercial for putting on this annual event to make sure that we better understand the economics of our local area and what a powerhouse we are on state and in many cases, international trade right here from the Mid-Willamette Valley. Very, very, very informational. So I'm going to make this available in our council office because I brought home extras. The other one I wanted to mention was, I got a chance to go to the Ag Breakfast the next day, so it was Economic Week. This is through SEDCOR, and the City of Keizer is a member of SEDCOR, the Strategic Economic Development Corporation. Wow, that was a blast from the past. Because this 3-county, Marion, Polk, and Yamhill. So we got to hear from the State Department of Agriculture. We got to hear from Ag Launch, which is doing marvelous innovative work, especially for building the power and ability for our farmers to better control not only what they're doing in terms of agricultural production, but also better control how they manage the distribution of their goods to better, so they have a better profit margin rather than it going somebody in the middle. A lot of great innovation and technology that's being developed nationwide, and the farmers have much more control over it through Ag Launch. This is something that was brought to SEDCOR and has been adopted, I think, about 3 years now, and it's been fantastic for the agricultural sector here in the Mid-Willamette Valley. That was a lot of fun. Coming up, 19th, so that's in a couple of days, I'll be part of the Leadership Salem presentation. So this is for the grown-ups. And then on Friday, this Friday, the 20th, Mr. Brown and I will be going up to Portland for the Japan Sister City Summit and the celebration for the Emperor's birthday at the Japanese Embassy. So we're looking forward, or consulate. Is the embassy or consulate? It's a consulate. Okay, I had it written down wrong. So with that, lots of things to look forward to. Councilor Christopher.
Mayor, I forgot one thing. I wanted to mention that the Keizer Heritage Museum.
Yes.
You guys gave us $2,400, and with that $2,400, we bought rack cards. We bought 2 sets of rack cards, one for the Cultural Center, one for the museum itself, and we bought those signs that, you know, those retractable signs. We were invited to participate at the Oregon State Capitol on the state's birthday. She gave us, Julene Poppinga, who is the visitor services, visitors manager, and she was so complimentary, and you can't believe how good we looked with everything up to date, all of our rack cards, everything just looked great. We had 4 volunteers there. Our booth was just constantly visited. We had the animal pelt boxes, we had the beaver mittens, and they were a big hit. And she said, "You're definitely coming back next year." I just wanted to thank you and said that $2,400 that allowed us to update all of that stuff, I mean, people noticed. We're now starting to look like a professional museum. That makes us all proud. And now everybody starts to listen to Keizer's history and heritage. So thank you again.
Yep. I saw it on Facebook. It looked spectacular.
It did.
Yeah.
They did a great job.
And that reminded me, speaking of things moving forward, I did go to the League of Oregon Cities President's regional meeting for Region 3. This was on the 19th, and what the league is doing right now is updating the extremely out-of-date, like 20 plus years out-of-date municipal handbook. So they're actually going around the state talking to city council members, getting their input on what needs to be in there, because this is a guiding document for how the league continues to evolve and engage with both local, home rule, and regional priorities, where we can we make a difference, and we need to make sure our voice is heard and that we better understand who we are today rather than 20 or 30 years ago. So that was a really good conversation. Huge kudos to League President McInnes, who's the mayor of Fossil, and Patty Mulvihill, the executive director. Really, really good stuff. Watch for more I think the next one is in May. So there'll be another one. That is all I've got there. So agenda input. Next Monday, we will have the town hall that we've been talking about on the pavilion concept for the Keizer Rapids Park. We will meet on March 2nd at 6 p.m. in regular session. On Saturday, March 7th, starting at 9 a.m., we will have a work session on police fee and the report that has just been published. On Monday, March 9th, we will have a meeting starting at 6 p.m. of the Long Range Planning Task Force, which just happens to have the same membership as the Budget Committee. But you'll want to hear that and what we've been learning and what our staff is preparing to help us understand our financial position before we go into the nuts and bolts of budget in May. On Monday, March 16th at 6 p.m., we will meet in regular session. And then on Monday, March 30th at 6 p.m., we will have a check-in work session between the City Council and the Community Diversity Engagement Committee, which is something we asked them to do and do a check-in with us. So that will happen then. We got a lot coming up. I think we're a busy town. And anything else for the good of the order? The time is 8 o'clock and we are adjourned. Take care, Shani. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Good night.